Every time you watch porn, it's like a slow poison steeping into your brain. It's killing your attraction to real people, one hit at a time. This is not a moral issue. This is a brain wiring issue. Porn isn't entertainment, it's neurological warfare. This is called desexualization. And to me, it's one of the most dangerous hidden effects of porn use. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, and today we're going to break down how porn use changes your brain's chemistry, and of course, what you can do to take back the control. But first, what is desexualization? Desexualization means that the arousal system in your brain is shifting away from real people and intimacy in the real world toward artificial stimulation, digital input. But here's the underlying problem: sexual attraction in your brain and your life is supposed to be reserved for people, for connection, for real life intimacy. When you watch porn, it hijacks that system, taking you away from the real world and making you want that fantasy from the screen. Over time, your brain stops firing up for real partners and instead fires up for pixels. Let's think of it like this: porn is like fireworks, right? They hit fast, they light up, they explode. But real intimacy with a partner is more like candlelight. It flickers, but it's longer lasting and it provides warmth. So, if your brain is conditioned for all of that excitement from the fireworks, that candle seems boring, flat, even though it sustains you. This happens because your brain is constantly flooded with excessive amounts of dopamine, that neurochemical of motivation, more, and pleasure. It's motivating you back for more pleasure from the fireworks of porn. Now it's time to be with your partner, and due to those ever increasing levels of dopamine that you want and need from the screen, now you can't get aroused with your partner. Your brain says this isn't enough stimulation. This leads to three core neuroscience dangers from porn use. First is dopamine burnout. Dopamine is your brain's reward and motivation chemical. So, a healthy way that it's designed to work is when you go into your life and you work, you do your hobbies, you connect with people that you love, you get small little bursts of dopamine and it motivates you back to those important activities and people in your life. It's healthy for not only survival, but for thriving. Those healthy levels keep you motivated and they keep you balanced. But porn hijacks this system. Now, with every click, with every scroll, with every new video, your brain is giving off a very large dopamine spike. That's why you feel that rush of pleasure. But your brain has to calibrate for those big floods of dopamine. This leads to something called desensitization because that ever rising baseline of dopamine makes it so you need more, and those dopamine receptors, they become dull. Your brain adapts by lowering the sensitivity in the dopamine receptors. And you know what it feels like to you? It means that that porn that used to give you a rush, now it feels flat, not enough. And you know what that means? It means that you chase more extreme content just to feel that rush again. Now, when you try to be with a real person, forget about it. It doesn't even register in your brain. Now you can't perform, nor can you feel what you would have if your brain was healthy. I want you to know your body isn't broken, but your brain is chemically dependent on the intensity that you get from porn, and it is making it so you can't feel or perform in your life. Now you need that intensity to feel anything at all. Think of it like an old stereo system, a 50-pound boombox, if you will. You remember those speakers that would thud when you cranked the music up all the way? Well, if you blew out a speaker, like I did back in the day, you know what happens. Next time you try to play that music at healthy lower levels, it comes out like a squeak or a whisper. You blew the speakers out. That's your brain on porn. The music of life, connection, intimacy, healthy sex that feels good. Now it's drowned out by the noise of the intensity that your brain needs. When dopamine gets burnt out, reality feels flat. You need intensity to feel anything at all. The second hidden danger is novelty addiction. Now, back in caveman days, novelty was important because cavemen would have to move around and find new environments that were safe, new food sources, maybe even new partners. But that survival mechanism is absolutely hijacked by porn. This is what leads you to want to see something new, clicking on something new to get that rush. It was a survival mechanism, but now it's been distorted. Endless scrolling, endless categories, endless newness. Your brain is tricked into thinking that these rewards are for your survival. On brain scans, we see the same area in the brain light up with the novelty of porn as it does for cocaine, specifically the nucleus accumbens. So, you know what happens? Your brain doesn't just want novelty, now it becomes trained to expect it. That pleasure and motivation hub is constantly on the hunt. That's why one loving partner begins to feel boring. There's not enough novelty there. The reward system in your brain has been recalibrated to expect more intensity and more newness than real life could or should give you. Your brain starts expecting an extravagant buffet. So one partner begins to feel like leftovers. The third danger is the prefrontal cortex shutdown. That area of your brain is like the pilot of the airplane flying you to your destination in your life. Now, if you knock him out and he's offline, now you're on autopilot. And in this regard, it usually ends up in a crash. That's because porn numbs that CEO who's in charge. And now the primitive pleasure circuits take over. This is why so many men tell me, I don't want to keep watching, but I can't stop. This isn't weakness, it's dysfunction in the very area of the brain that's supposed to help you and support impulse control and judgment. Now those areas don't work. Your healthy brain is designed to stop you, but it's not working anymore. On brain scans, we see that chronic porn use actually decreases the white and gray matter in the brain and decreases functioning of the prefrontal cortex. It's the same pattern that we see in people with gambling addictions and cocaine addictions. We don't just see this in the scientific research journals. I see this every single week. It looks like this. The thousands of men that I have worked with come in and their brains are lit up like Christmas trees. First and foremost, I see hypofrontality, reduced structure and function in the prefrontal cortex. Then I see that reward center in the midbrain and those pathways leading up to the frontal lobe, they are on fire for artificial stimulation. That's underactivity in the thinking, impulse control, judgment areas, and overactivity in the craving circuits. This leads to compulsive sexual behaviors, porn addiction, and porn-induced erectile dysfunction. With the control center weakened, the brain is stuck in reactive mode, chasing that next hit of dopamine from the screen. It wants the intensity instead of the long term connection and intimacy. That is why it feels like you're losing control, because neurologically, you are. So, what's the real cost that we're talking about? It's numbness and relationship decay. When dopamine burnout, novelty addiction, and prefrontal shutdown collide, you get porn-induced dopamine dependency. It's a chemical trap for arousal. That's why ED is absolutely exploding in young men, not because their bodies are broken, but because their brains are completely dependent on the high-level artificial stimulation from porn, so they can't perform with their partners. Reality could never compete to that level of fantasy. It's not a bedroom problem, it's a brain problem. But alas, I have good news. Your brain is plastic. Through neuroplasticity, you can fire up and rewire your brain back to healthy arousal. That means that you can literally rebuild attraction and desire. Let me give you a quick 3-step rewire process. Number 1, stop overstimulation. Cut the junk and let your brain taste real food again. Number 2, rewire for real arousal. At first, intimacy is going to feel flat. That's your taste buds waking up again. Number 3, reconnect emotionally and physically. Pair sex with love again and remind your brain what it's been missing. Porn's dangers are real, but so is your brain's ability to heal. You're not broken, you're miswired. And that miswiring can be fixed. If you want real confidence and real performance, you don't need a pharmacy. You need your brain back. I've created a free guide to help you get started. So if you want your performance, your connection, and your confidence back, please head over to drtrishleigh.com. Your brain is your most powerful sexual organ. It is time for you to take it back.